right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Dark, Season 3, Episode 7. Penultimate episode of a time travel show.
Yeah.
The time travel show.
Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
I am ready.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's anything to say other than if this is the end, then let me see the beginning.
And let it be such an end.
Let it be such an end.
Yeah.
To be worthy of remembrance. I'm very excited to see Martha's soldiers get deployed.
Indeed.
I am excited to see Adam be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited to see many different variations of Martha kind of like maybe like acting in a very like extreme or exciting or maybe different kind of way.
Yep. And what some of those time soldiers that she sent back there are going to end up doing, because we saw most of it in the last episode, and theoretically all of it, like we don't necessarily need to see
we don't
Egon do
need
his
to
thing.
see the details. It's
right,
more
right.
just that they succeed.
Yeah, exactly. They do their thing. But Martha's baby, I think it might be bye-bye. And if that's the case, how does that change things? Because that's entirely what Adam has staked everything on.
Yeah, so, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Was ist Realität?
Oh, okay.
Gibt es davon nur eine einzige? Oder existieren mehrere Realitäten nebeneinander?
All right, three. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
Katze wird in eine Stahlkammer gesperrt, mit ihr eine winzige Menge einer radioaktiven Substanz, ein Geigerzähler.
Quantum Entanglement.
In der Quantenwelt ist das Atom gleichzeitig zerfallen und
Cool.
existieren im Mikrokosmos also gleichzeitig.
Fun.
Die Existenz mehrerer Realitäten nebeneinander möglich?
So now she's doing this part.
Damit die Katze in einen gleichzeitigen Zustand von Tod
Right, so to have Martha and the baby be both alive and dead.
Unterschiedliche Realitäten wären dann nebeneinander möglich.
Yeah.
Fun.
Warte! Du darfst da nicht rein!
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Whoa! And this is creating the one where she doesn't go in.
Yeah.
Er will die Apokalypse nicht verhindern. Alle werden sterben. Aber nicht wegen dir, sondern wegen ihm.
Wow. So older Bartosz. Older Bartosz
Und wir alle...
talked to younger Bartosz
Uh-huh.
to set all this up. Okay.
Du musst mir vertrauen.
All right. I love it.
Which means then that there's two Marthas, and the one that's getting, teleport baby wiped is
Not the only one.
not the only one.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Let's do it.
Tan house. Whoa.
Okay.
Holy shit. Wait. Bro's making a time machine independent of outside forces. Oh my god.
Is this gonna be the?
He's the start of it all.
Die längst vergangen sind.
And that's why he was where it got bootstrapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
And why it's so necessary for
Den Tod ins Gegenteil zu verkehren.
the way a death creates new life. Like what older Martha was saying in the previous episode.
Yeah. Some good old-fashioned death and rebirth.
Wenn Zeit relativ ist und nichts wirklich jemals vergangen,
Right. Everything is now.
eine neue Realität zu erschaffen, in der Todes wieder lebt.
Oh, the way these shots just...
Yep.
Ugh.
Ulrich following Helga. Oh no. Oh, clearing out the tunnels. Nice.
Yeah. The two of them working at it.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Awesome.
This
Cool.
is his part. This is his mission. He gives her the faith. He gives her the belief that, like... Aha.
Oh.
Yeah.
Adam wird sein Versprechen halten. Die Passage wird sich öffnen.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Jonas doing his thing.
Oh, and it also makes sense then why he'd get like his face all messed up, because not only is he doing this a bunch, but he's experimenting.
Sure.
You know, he doesn't have the right protective equipment. It's an incomplete machine.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's probably happened many times. Ow. That is grody.
Nice, we don't need to see it actually happen to his face, just...
Yeah, we can extrapolate what's about to happen.
Das ist das Paradies. Das Paradies? Wir stecken hier seit 2 Jahren fest. 2 verschissene Jahre. Ich will dein verficktes Paradies nicht.
This
Ich will
is
hier einfach nur weg.
Bartosz at this point. Bartosz is gonna just keep digging. He's gonna keep working. He's gonna be stuck in this
Yep.
for a lot longer.
And then eventually...
Until
Yeah.
Noah does him in. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, Celia.
All right.
Yeah, because she needs Martha's clothes. Wow.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Hallo?
And classic guy thing doesn't recognize that they're the same clothes.
I mean, he might.
Manchmal glaube ich, es hört ja nie auf zu regnen. Ich bin Celia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And suddenly he finds a reason to keep on keeping on.
Yep.
We are racing around time here.
Yeah. The way it doesn't even touch it, just gets close.
Y'all are tapping into the good stuff here.
Trying to. It's like it's its own little universe.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what if that's actually
It's a
what
cool
it
idea
was?
to think that there's a tiny universe inside of every single atom. Like every single Yeah. Just 2 weary travelers trying to break into the domain
Into
of
infinity.
God, you know?
Yeah.
Wir können morgen eine neue Versuchsreihe starten.
And this is when he splits.
Ich weiß, wir versuchen es schon lange. Aber es wird gelingen.
We've been stuck here for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Du darfst die Hoffnung nicht verlieren.
Wow. They've all always had somebody that's basically been like, keep going, keep
Yeah.
going. Damn. I love
Okay.
it. I love it. The hypocrisy to basically have been that one that was like Bartosz,
Yeah.
but then needed potentially someone or something
Yeah.
to come along, keep you going.
Yep.
I love this in-between time, yeah. Like, because
All the
obviously the Tannhaus thing is actually, like, that was different. That was completely different. But then this is the points in between a lot of the stuff.
Right, between the 33-year increments.
Yeah, these are the gaps to fill the gaps.
Which makes total sense that would be one of the most, like...
Crucial things.
Yeah, as the second to last episode, that like that's what it covers.
Yeah. He's even got the hair that... Oh, my God.
Man.
No way. Does he just go and sleep up here and just...
Talk about a
just
sucky
waste
life.
away?
Yeah, I mean...
Just sit up here and try to grapple with the man that... Is this where he first tries to kill himself? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The beam breaks. Someone else comes in to stop him.
Yeah.
The mundanity of it, right? Like... Just like, all right, just tossing a rope over there.
I love that they had, like, had him so casually, like, spoil this, like, long, long ago. It's not enough to... Yeah! Oh my God, it's Noah!
Okay.
Wow!
I love it.
Yeah, and he didn't fall far enough to do any irreparable damage. Wow.
Right, because there was that thing that Noah said too.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Du kannst nicht sterben.
Yeah. Whoa.
I love it.
Yeah. To then have older Noah then come to... Holy shit.
That'd be so terrifying.
Then fired off into the side. Yeah. Peak. It's just like...
Du kannst dir nicht das Leben nehmen. Weil es dein älteres Ich bereits gibt.
And is tied into a whole loop of things here. Oh my God.
Elisabeth und ich. Wir haben die Passage gefunden.
Wow.
Du musst dein Versprechen halten.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh!
Love it.
Oh, this is nuts. This is nuts.
Gesagt, dass wir Freunde werden.
Yeah.
Bevor du mich verrätst.
What?
I love it. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Baby Noah. Yeah.
Gut.
Baby. Oh my gosh.
Einmal noch.
Is it gonna be 2?
Das ist dein Bursche.
Yeah. Oh.
Hallo.
Hannah. Yeah. Wow.
Dem werden wir immer glauben, dass es einen Weg gibt, das Blatt zu unseren Gunsten zu wenden.
Oh, how the room was originally.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it wasn't the people at the facility.
Liegt nicht jeder Fortschritt durch alle Zeiten in diesem unstillbaren Akt des Wollens?
You could argue that, yeah. Yeah, there's... And he finishes it then, so... Oh!
That's how it gets bootstrapped. Okay.
Yep.
I like it.
They've all aged up.
Yeah.
You've taken enough time banging against the wall.
Yeah.
And it worked. They got it. After all those years.
Vielleicht will Claudia gar nicht, dass es funktioniert.
Er hat dich belogen. Es gibt kein Paradies.
Oh my gosh.
Das Portal wird funktionieren, ich hab's gesehen. In der Zukunft. Alles wiederholt sich. Aber wenn ich zurückreisen kann, dann kann ich alles verändern.
It's so crazy to think about all this is basically the beginning.
And the idea that they would have had 30 years to talk about this.
Sie ist manchmal tagelang verschwunden. Woher weiß sie all die Dinge, die sie weiß? Können ihr nicht trauen. Ich hoffe, du weißt das.
Oh, it's so
And I love
fun.
that he's saying that when it's already he said you'll betray me. You know,
Right.
Like there.
Yeah.
It's still we're still stuck in this together though. So
yeah,
you know,
it just puts Noah into a whole new light. It's so cool.
Hat keine Ahnung, dass es dich oder die andere Welt gibt.
Yeah, this info is constantly coming through. Yep.
Ich erinnere mich noch genau, was sie gesagt hat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Einfach nicht glauben, dass sie damit gemeint hat, dass ich ihr Leiden auf immer wiederholen soll.
Right.
Whoa.
Es muss einen Weg geben, den Knoten zu lösen. Ohne alles Leben darin zu zerstören.
Whoa.
I love it.
Yes. Yes.
Ich glaube, weder Eva noch Adam kennen diesen Weg.
Yeah. Let's go, Claudia.
All right.
In meiner oder deiner Welt. Nicht.
Yeah, this will work.
And
Yes.
she's got your machine now. Holy shit.
Oh my
Way to go.
Claudia!
Yeah!
Claudia! I've been rooting for you!
And I'm just going to say, look at how this episode that's at the end of the show, after we've had all these progressions of different antagonists and forces and things, is bringing it back to the original two.
Yep.
Noah and Claudia,
Yep.
and then also Jonas. But
Oh, right. But because older Claudia did all that stuff before she knew she was going to die, she was moving and grooving exactly where she needed. Whoa! I'm so excited how all this is tying back to the beginning. Oh, so then she does her clothes and her hair up and everything like she's this Claudia. Yeah. Showing it doesn't fit exactly. So she's masquerading.
oh
Whoa.
my god, that's fantastic.
Hast Claudia nicht mitgebracht?
Noah beobachtet sie. Wir müssen vorsichtig sein.
Yeah, but if... Yeah, interesting.
Fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Du musst ihn Claudia geben. Und sie muss ihn Tannhaus geben.
Right. Yes. So cool. This is so cool.
So cool.
So
That's so
our
awesome.
Claudia has been hopping back and forth, pretending to be both, doing everything that she needs to be, disappearing for multiple.
Stark sein, Hanno.
Oh.
Auch für deinen Vater.
Oh, just like that.
And that's why he ends up...
Agnes was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she died in childbirth.
God, like that's Bartosz. Like,
Yeah. Like, I almost can't tell which actor it is.
no, I can't either.
Wir haben alles versucht, Bartosz.
I think it's the older one. That's
Yeah,
incredible. Yeah, it is the older one. Yeah. Wow. And that.
It's
There
wild.
we go. Oh,
Okay. All right.
my heart.
Paradies.
Oh, you can hear it in his voice.
Alles.
Oh. Oh, they're here.
Ist Gott vergessen.
Wait, so what are they doing here?
They're here. Oh, they have to move. They have to move Celia. They have to take. They have to take. Oh my gosh. And of course, the baby won't cry. It's being picked up by his mom. Wow. Wow.
Werden wir dort sein? Du. Ich.
Yeah. Look at him preaching.
Yep. Right, because the idea of bringing a child into this world. Yeah.
When you know it's all a lie, when you know it's all... Well, I mean, he's the soldier that was just given...
And then they go in and she's gone.
Yep. And they'll think it's Claudia.
Oh.
Unless he'll think that this is... Unless he thinks that this is Jonas, like, betraying...
Sure.
Maybe... Yeah, he'd have no way to know. He'd either think it's Jonas or Claudia, right?
Wo ist sie?
Yeah.
Wo ist Charlotte?
Oh.
Ich habe mich all die Jahre gefragt, was damit gemeint ist.
Right.
Ich weiß nicht, wovon du sprichst.
Oh my gosh.
And yet he knows he can't kill him.
Wo ist Charlotte?
Well,
Ich weiß es nicht.
her picture is,
Oh, I'm dumb. It's Charlotte, right. I was saying that he's moving Celia. I'm getting confused with all the babies and stuff. Yeah, it's clearly Charlotte. Right.
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Leid der Welt.
Whoa.
And yet that's going to be become the person that you serve.
Those two photos in the background.
Yeah.
It's very fun, yeah. Then you'll have to leave her here. You'll have to leave her alone. Oh my god, this is depressing.
Finde sie. Ich bringe sie.
All of this was then for him to look for her. He was in all those times and all those points. This is what has taken Noah's motivation through all of this. Everything.
Right.
You're never gonna see him again.
No.
And like that.
Ein Mensch kann zwar tun, was will, aber kann nicht wollen, was will.
And that's how she grows, turns into the badass leader that we see when Jonas goes to the future.
Whoa, the fact that it was the bunker.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's where the kids get experimented on, so...
Right, the weakest versions of the time machine.
But potentially built on the back of what happens here, or what happened there.
Yeah.
Celia?
Yeah.
That's... Oh my god.
Hat sich verändert. Das Reisen ist nicht spurlos an ihm vorbeigegangen.
Yeah, his face is kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Dang. Celia's been through the ringer as far as traveling goes.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the amount of times that she's been to.
Mm-hmm.
At different points in her own life.
Yep. He's got the villain like
clasped hands behind
perfectly.
the back.
Yeah. I guess that's what happened when your face gets scarred to hell.
Whoa. Whoa. Fun makeup.
I think I recognize
the breathing that like sank in.
Oh.
That was a really cool detail.
Sie ist deine Schwester.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can tell that it's the eyes of middle-aged Jonas.
Wie hast du uns gefunden?
Well, I'm here with a time machine.
Yeah.
Ein paar Tagen. Da war diese alte Frau. Sie stand einfach vor unserer Tür.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Das ist alles meine Schuld.
Oh.
Ich habe alles kaputt gemacht.
Oh.
Aber jetzt bin ich hier.
No. You're dead, Hannah. Oh my god. No, he's gonna kill her. Yeah. Oh shit. He's changed.
Bartosz, mach ihn die Kammer zurecht.
Oh. Oh. I was the cold, but like broken eyes and everything.
Oh yeah.
Like he's holding back the tears, but also like
I'm
I got
spellbound.
like that was some good acting. I felt
That was
so
terrifying.
uneasy right there, despite like the tears welling up. Like like did he almost waver there?
Well, he might be sending them off to die.
Was machst du da?
Yep.
Yep.
Your daughter's needed.
She's like, oh, this is just a normal visit. Yeah, yeah.
Hört nicht hierher.
Was soll das heißen?
Die ist hier falsch. Genau wie du.
Aha.
Mama.
Gonna call her that before you kill her.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn. There's way too much family killing family in this show. I'm just gonna say.
We got the little crucifix right next to
yeah.
them. We got the daughter lying there, completely asleep, has no idea. Damn, bro is probably like, nah, I can't do this in front of Bartosz. Like that's probably the only reason why he didn't do it back there.
Right.
Oh my god. Now where were we? Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let's wake her up. Or no. Let's just pick her up slowly. So creepy.
God.
Wir wollen deine Mama schlafen lassen, ja?
Yeah. And because she introduced him, like, this is your brother.
Right.
Like, this is your family.
Yeah.
You've been going through a whole bunch of stuff, but wow.
Looking at her dead mother and just thinks, oh, she's sleeping.
Oh!
That's so fucked.
This episode! Like, we're probably about, like, halfway through it right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! I feel so dumb having called Charlotte Celia, like, given how much we're focusing on the two of them, but, like... Okay. Because it's all backwards in my head. Like, I'm...
Right.
Like, it's mom versus daughter and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
so he shows up.
Yeah.
Ich
You can just say what it
bin
is.
weit gereist. Ich brauche einen Platz zum Schlafen.
Oh, okay.
Anno?
Amazing.
Richte dem Herrn die Kammer her.
Nice.
Amazing.
Also, du glaubst, ich habe dich belogen.
dass ich dir Charlotte genommen habe. Aber das habe ich nicht. Hattest recht. Claudia. Sie hat uns alle belogen.
Right. Because at this point he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die letzten Seiten, sie fehlen. Du musst sie finden. Sie werden dich zu Charlotte führen und endlich auch an dein...
And to your final destination. Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Du wirst dein Paradies finden. Und Helge wird dir dabei helfen.
God, it's so cool seeing the origin of all these characters moving around at the end because of so many of them having come from the...
Yeah.
Das wird der letzte Zyklus sein. Bist du bereit, Noah?
All right, cool.
Materie. Sie lässt sich endlich stabilisieren.
This is so wild.
Nicht anders handeln. Du musst die Weichen stellen, egal wie schwer es dir scheint. Aber du wirst endlich alles ändern können.
This feels so insane that, like, the show where it started versus where it is now.
Du musst die Passage zerstören. Und den Knoten mit ihr. Diesmal wird es gelingen.
Wow. Let's go. All of this.
That's crazy.
To come back and then take her word for it after he'd already basically lost all hope.
Yeah, and also when he had seen older him come back and do it, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, tear them out. It's so satisfying when a show understands the importance of like things left out and omitted from our knowledge, when to reintroduce them back in.
Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes it's scary to have it all at the end. But yeah, here we go. And we're back at the beginning.
Und nun alarmiert ein weiterer Vermisstenfall die Bürger der Stadt.
This is fan service.
Yeah,
this is beautiful.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Willst du nicht einsteigen?
Like,
going
we
back
knew
to
all
your
this.
No, right.
It's just so fun to see it again.
It's just so wild.
Because it's all the same timeline. It's just at different points, different knowledge.
Du bist der weiße Teufel.
Claudia was it. Claudia was Endgame. Her final moments.
Yep.
Everything as she took her final... Yeah.
Es gibt keinen Menschen ohne Schuld.
This is the second to last episode.
Pure and perfect
so
loops.
Crazy.
All the way through. And then we come back here.
You know what I love about this? Is that this could be showing how things happened in the past, or this could be showing the next iteration and how it all happens exactly the same. And we're just getting it in a montage.
I mean, we've already shown it. That's the point.
Yeah.
We've closed everything. That's why we started the episode with that.
Right.
Specifically, that difference there.
Yep.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Looping the finale of season 2.
Wait.
And now here's the new
Okay,
thing.
okay,
Here we
okay.
go. Oh! So, Bartosz and Martha? Yeah?
Warum hast du mich hierher gebracht?
You have to grow into your middle-aged self.
Ist es nicht eigenartig,
Yeah.
dass wir die größte Abneigung den Menschen entgegenbringen, die uns am ähnlichsten
Saying Adam's line! Holy shit!
Ich war mein Leben lang der Überzeugung, dieser Moment hier könnte sich nie...
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
It's all...
Ich nicht verstehen konnte, wie ich das, was sie wollte, jemals wollen könnte. Jetzt 66 Jahre später verstehe ich es.
Wow, I've got to watch that scene again with Jonas first meeting Adam.
Wir tragen die gleichen Narben.
That's how she gets it?
Because it's different. It's different than...
Aber mit uns entscheidest du dich für das Leben. Mit Adam für den Tod.
So this could work. No, didn't work.
Well, it wouldn't happen immediately.
Well, no, it didn't work. You're still here. You still exist.
Kann nicht sein.
Yeah.
And then she walks through with the scar. Yeah, kills him. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Hallo Jonas.
Oh!
Don't you dare! Don't!
No! Let's go! It was Claudia! It was Claudia the whole way through! She had the notebook. She
hustled you good.
She had gone to different, like, places and new things and I'm so excited. Claudia was like in my head, in my heart of hearts, like Claudia was Endgame. Claudia was Endgame.
Well, and that's what's great. They're bringing back the forces from the original, like the beginning of the show.
I mean,
you know?
right. Because the ending is the beginning and everything.
Right,
so
exactly.
Oh, it's so.
Oh my God!
So exciting.
The cojones of this show. The stones in absolute gall.
It did basically like fold Martha and the baby completely out of everything, existence and everything.
Yeah.
Because there's another Martha, Schrodinger's cat. That's the whole quantum entanglement, the superposition.
Or that's the third universe that he just sent her to.
I mean, in some ways, it's more the idea that it's not about being sent to the third universe. It's more just the idea that along this whole thing here, Adam never really got how things were so intrinsically connected because he doesn't see there as being any hope for this.
Sure. Yeah, that's like, oh man, once you realize that time travel is a thing and that it works in this way, right? Where it's not like splitting off to different timelines, but it's like, you know, also like iterating on the same timeline.
All fully looped.
I'd be so fucking paranoid. Yeah. Of just like, do slight thing.
I'd be like, I dropped the coin. I don't look at it. And I'm like, ah!
No, you're like looking around like, did anybody walk around the corner? No, okay, no, oh, okay.
No, what I'd do is I'd find the nearest wall and I'd hit my head really hard and I'd look around. Okay, so clearly that was enough. Ha! And then I'd be like, oh shit, wait, maybe I don't matter. Like,
well, but that's like jumping off a cliff to be like,
no, because you don't have to hit it hard enough. You have to hit it just hard enough that it's like, I'm showing the intent, potentially. I know, it's so dumb.
I would just
I'm
start
talking about how cooked my brain would be. That's why
same.
I'm talking that level of insanity.
No, in a similar way, I would be doing completely random shit. Like, someone says you have to do this. After the first time I get manipulated, I'd be like, all right, fuck it, you tell me to do something? Yeah. How can you predict what I'm going to do when I don't even know?
But the time traveler would never have shown up to you then, if that's the case.
No, then they show up and shoot you. They're like, you're muddying the waters.
No. You wouldn't have ever even been a thing. You're just the crazy person that just went tick tock, and then they put in a facility. You know, like I'm telling you, like.
God damn it.
Okay, this show is peak. This show is phenomenal. Like, I love so much that they recapped this episode. This was a recap episode about maybe like 33% of this was new information. And the other parts was basically showcasing the exact mechanical reason as to how these things that we already knew to be true came about.
Right.
We watched the origin, effectively, of every character. Of every notable
the ones that are
that's
still
going
relevant,
to be
basically.
that's going to be actively doing things in the here and now. And so the idea that we start this with a Tenhouse who is completely disconnected from these because he's the one
who originally
that made the original time machine that started all this shit.
Yep.
And I love the point that it finished in 1986. He got it enough, like active here, that basically the 1986 gateway or what have you was kind of the bounds of this, because in the show we had 86, 55,
19,
and 2019 all kind of feeling like they were kind of
86 and 53.
Did I say 55?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 53, 86, and 19 all being trapped in this, and it's the 3-in-1. It's all symbolic of what have you. It doesn't really mean anything, but it's the that was it. That was the focus point. And
Which
then,
that's okay. So okay.
All right.
So one of the things that I love about this is that if you think about it, and any of the time travelers should have been able to get a sense of this in a way, even though we
got a sense of this pretty early.
No. Well, hang on.
What are you talking about?
If you don't know information, but you know that bootstrapping exists, then you gotta look at everything that you're doing right now that is involving bootstrapping and say, like, if you're looking for the origin, maybe the bootstrap things that exist are where you should pull on the thread. Well, so the fact that they are bootstrapping a time machine through randomly Tannhaus for some reason, that's maybe a clue as to where this began.
Well, that was my point when I was like going and looking at the tree and everything, is that Tannhaus doesn't fit here.
Right.
He actually was the origin of this in a lot of ways because, well,
and
everything with Charlotte being like with
important
him
and all that stuff,
doesn't make sense. At some point, a time traveler gave Charlotte to Tannhaus.
Right.
Why Tannhaus?
Yeah.
Right.
This is crude, but where's the incest? I don't see any. Something's off. like that family line doesn't do the loop-de-loops other than the little one between Elizabeth and Charlotte, right? Of like the mother being the daughter and the daughter being the mother,
Yeah.
But like,
it is nice to finally see Celia in the mix of this whole thing here and having that all tied together, which is rather fun. But God, it's so.
Oh God damn it! Yeah, and the things were lined up again. The locations for the things.
Well, right. But the family tree that Martha had, older Martha, in her thing.
Showed this. Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, it was just exciting to see it all come to pass. I can't believe how dumb I was. Be like, they're taking Celia. I'm like,
no. Hey, there's lots of babies.
There's lots of babies being moved and stuff like that.
Like, okay, so this is the one thing that, like, all right. So everything in this episode, I adored it.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that's wondering when I go back and like rewatch this show, right?
Yes.
Like, after my brain has had time to cool off.
Right.
Will there be a part of it that's like, okay, they're doing all these things where they show how these things interact to these other things and all that stuff, and it's awesome, but then also the reasons why they're doing those things are just because that's how it is, but that's how it is because that's how it is.
Right.
And then it becomes this like tautological like thing.
Yes.
And then it becomes no, hang on. But then it becomes less satisfying because we see the origin of the bootstrapping with Tannhaus with the time machine and stuff, but then for like these other situations of like people being moved around and stuff, it's just arbitrary because that's how it needs to go because that's how it needs to go.
No. So that's part of where this is really just so fun.
Okay.
Is that Claudia killed her other self in the other world.
Awesome.
Which was incredible because she could sense basically that the ways in which both sides are doing things is similarly wrong.
Yes.
And thus she ends that side of things here and basically sets up the way to usher us to an actual end.
Right. And
she created basically enough of a means by which then we could have and it's really fun here because we don't know how much she kept from older Martha over the course of time, because probably kept all of it. Enough that basically they would continue with what they were doing, right?
Yeah.
But she's secretly in the background.
Oh yeah, she's a sleeper double agent across 5. She's a 5-dimensional double agent.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome.
And yet, if you were to explain this, somebody would be like, "All right, so here's how it works." So,
well, no, it's the missing pages.
No,
the fact that the pages were missing was the biggest fucking hint of it all. It just doesn't make sense for a time traveler.
Right, which is also... sorry, finish what you were saying.
Oh, it just doesn't make sense for a time traveler to basically be like, there's missing pages. Go find them.
Well, yeah, that makes no sense.
Wait.
And,
what?
And if you have that established early on, because it made sense within the context of the show at the beginning when it's introduced. Okay, cool, because that's just Adam v. Claudia, right?
Right.
But then once you introduce another element, and oh, hey, they're also... the ones, that's how we keep Claudia relevant because she was working with them.
Right, because we knew Adam didn't know everything.
Right.
And that was very clear, much earlier on.
But, the idea that we need, trans-universal, information passing in order for the sides to be able to combat each other. Right. Then, okay, sure, that's how Claudia stays relevant.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, then the missing pages don't really make as much sense.
Right.
And then, so, hey, here's how you do it.
And
so this is why for time travel safety shenanigans, if you have the person from the same time so they're the same age so that way it's irrefutable proof that I'm you.
Yeah.
You only do that the one time with any particular person. And then after that you say, and for your next point of contact, it will be this other person. Because... well, we had a point when someone decided to kill the person to take the whatever and that shit that we don't want to deal with.
Yeah, and you would never know.
Right.
You would really never know.
Yeah, you need to have control questions or some shit, but
But even then, I just love it so much because Claudia as a character has suffered to a similar degree that Jonas has. And I would say not to the same type.
She's a character that has suffered greatly, which most of the people in this show do. But she's still alive.
Secret. She's still alive, but I mean, well, right. But it's just more the thing that she lived to the age of the Adam and Eva kind of equivalent here,
right?
And kept going on her own.
Yes.
There's something about the ways in which all the old characters that have mastery over the time traveler basically then represent some kind of belief. And they represent some kind of part of humanity's struggle. And so the idea that Adam and Eve basically Eva are surrounded by these people that they are,
working as
in
pawns.
Here.
Yeah.
Right. Without knowing basically how similar their playbook is, their followers are, that they are, trying to counter your plan with my plan, my plan, and my plan, and my plan, and my plan.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, Claudia's in the middle just being like, free will, bitches.
But also,
actually
and on top of all of that, right? If you have headquarters and you're in a time war, then well, you must have absolute control of your time thing.
Well, remember, because of the time, paradox loop thing here, people can't die if they've been properly, written into time.
Sure, but just the headquarters that is, infrastructure to your organization in order to help you do your thing, right?
Right, that's why they actually do have security, and they have, Magnus outside and stuff for Adam's thing.
But even then, you wouldn't want to do that if you have people that can get to your universe and fuck around, because then they can figure out a way to do
Adam's group didn't know about them. Adam specifically did not know about them. That's the point. We are, for their purpose, completely in the dark.
Right.
What we know is a drop. What there's out there is an ocean.
But for Claudia, if you see the time traveler person who's going it alone, who's, camping in the woods at a different place every time.
She knows what's up.
Not only does she know what's up, she pissed some people off.
Well, not she pissed some people off. Not she pissed some people off. She wants her plans to work.
Right, exactly. No, hang on. This has got to be off the grid, off the books,
The arrogance of Adam and Eva is on display here. But it is fun to have the reveal, basically, that Claudia, from a very early point in the gaps, if you will, was operating on her own and had knowledge of both worlds and was using then a middle-aged Jonas to basically set up the loop in this way.
Right, to be her apprentice, basically, to keep the things over here going as she needed while she's also going over to this universe.
Her part, yeah.
And being like, okay, so what are all the things I need to do?
Right.
Okay,
so that makes this show's whole story experience the last loop. Like
right.
It is also actually all the final thing
yes.
there. There was no looping happening in the story from the sense of we're doing it all over again. It's just showing the beginning from the perspective of our knowledge being added in.
Yes, and that's where the show has its cake and eat it, and sort of does like two different rules for time travel in different ways. But
right, because it does it people with different levels of knowledge about how time travel works.
No. Like with the whole thing of like the gun clicking and like, you know, you can't like kill yourself and all that stuff, right? Once you introduce something like that, it completely removes free will and the idea that things will ever change, right? Like the tangled mess wouldn't be able to actually be broken because that's how it is and that's how it always has been and that's how it, you know, forever will be, and you can't have bootstraps there, right?
Right. But we still haven't actually changed things yet. That's the point, is that we had the decisions of like two things existing simultaneously, but those two things existing simultaneously of two different Jonases and two different Marthas is a part of the loop. Like all of that is a part of the reason why the loop is so wrapped up together.
Because it's a loop like this, not a loop like this, right?
Yeah.
But I still think the thing that I'm saying stands. But regardless, the way that the show is handling it is so well. They're properly like smoothing things over when there could be wrinkles, or you know, you might be wondering, well, why does this work here and this doesn't work here or whatever, so that it's not like an actual problem, right? The experience of the show is so goddamn enjoyable, you know, that now we're getting all of this stuff as the second to last episode, and it's just like, all right, let's just sit back and hey, we're gonna show you a bit of a more zoomed out picture of the painting we've been crafting for you.
When you go and rewatch the show, when, not if, you will see it this way basically,
right?
And you won't be able to unsee it. But what I like so much about the whole death thing in a way that I feel like is part of it is it's kind of a bit of an arrogant logical fallacy to say that the only parts of it where time is actively being a part of it is when someone doesn't die, when it's still the same part of it if someone then does die. Like it's the idea that this whole mess that humans have created here, that Tannhaus initiated, is an example of human beings trying either desperately to hold on to cradle their little god they've created, or desperately trying to murder and strangle their god that they've created.
Yeah.
And both sides exist simultaneously, but you've built something that you can't actually, you've made a stone that you cannot lift anymore. Like you've actually like made something that's bigger than all of you.
You made a stone, fantastic. And you know, you can lift it, but then it started rolling down a hill, you know, and then you're not, that's doing its thing.
And now this whole thing is getting over it, you know, like letting it go and crash and burn, basically. Yeah.
And speaking of crashing and burning, man, that was a rough way to go for Hannah. Like they made it so wonderfully creepy and like scary and all that stuff.
Yes.
But like the idea that it's just you're not, this isn't where you're supposed to be. Dunzo.
And I love it too because it's an example of Hannah's free will.
Yes.
On display.
She came back here to see her son.
Yes.
Yeah.
And someone who had basically been so focused on perpetuating this so that he can get what he wants was essentially offered a way that things could be different.
Yeah.
But it might not get him back into a place that he's happy with. So he then murders his potential savior, which I love as a thematic thing, that Jonas killing Hannah feels like that was foreshadowed a long time ago.
Sure.
Like in terms of if there was ever to be a child killing parent or parent killing child moment in this story, Hannah's influence on the way that things ended up going has been tremendous.
Yes.
But Jonas going down the route of despair and perpetuating and going down it to the point where it ends up becoming his own decision.
Oh yeah,
this is the exact kind of thing to show that.
Right, he's killed everyone in his life that could theoretically stop him from this over the course of the show.
Yeah.
Right? There's the
Or they've been killed.
Well, no, right. No. He's actually like in a sense killed them.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
The most direct is bang, Martha's dead, right? But then
right.
But then there's
obviously
the example.
It's a future version of him. But
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then there's the example of him going back to save his dad.
Yes.
And then realizing, oh wait, no, shit,
I'm
killing him, even though this isn't what I meant to do, right? And now, fuck, right? And so the idea that after Martha and Miko, that Hannah will be different? Nah. Like, no.
That's why I thought it was going to happen, like, right in the Sigmundus headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
Once he saw her, I was like, there's murder in those eyes.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I'm killing her. Like, he made the decision right then and there.
Yeah.
And I think he literally just didn't because, there's Bartosz. I probably shouldn't do that here.
Yeah, he's already losing faith. But also, let's be real.
and Cillian's right there, too.
In a half-joking kind of way.
Yeah.
When middle-aged Jonas is doing his thing, and he's like, all right, where's the time machine? My mom took it, and she's gone. What? I would understand there being murder in those eyes then. Like the idea that you're like, okay, so time travel's a thing, guys. Okay, cool, awesome. I brought you into this. You trust me that this is real, and like there's a bunch of crazy shit happening. I'm gonna bugger off with it to go fuck around with my ex and not bring it
Don't worry, she brought it back.
Yeah.
Eventually. Sorry, she brought it back earlier.
Like that's some level of like, terrible parent fucking over your life because, well, you're an extension of me and so it shouldn't matter, right? Like, not that that's why Hannah did it, right? But like, where it's like, Jonas would not exactly have too kind of an a view of his mother right now. Like, their whole thing of being stuck back there is because she did that. Hannah, what made you think, like...
Are you ready to move on?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I could just see your brain, like, spinning, and I'm like, dude, you want me to pull you a hand? Like, give you a hand here?
Thank you.
Okay, so, in between time, we covered Tannhaus.
Yep.
Tannhaus being the one to start this all because he lost his...
wife and daughter, yeah.
Right. Well, no, not his wife and daughter. No, this is a kid and in-law. Anyway,
okay.
You'll catch up. The thing with this is that was not because of time travelers. That was the actual like beginning point of all of this. He then ends up going and devoting everything in a solitary, lonely, individual bunker here. There's a very clear like message and theme being put across here.
Oh yeah.
With Tannhaus isolating and dedicating himself so holistically to this thing. And yet we have Adam's narration throughout this being like, but wait, isn't this in a lot of ways how every like big like moment happens with human will coming up against something,
right? And that's what makes us different from animals, and
right. And it's powerful to think about.
Yeah.
And it's so blissfully ignorant of Adam to like praise this while he's the one headed to his point where he kind of goes the like, did I blow up the world? My hands are still here.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like while he's alone in this whole thing there, he sent everyone out to do their part. And because of a combination of Martha's actions, of Claudia's actions, of even his own actions, many others as well.
Yeah.
This whole thing holds together for now.
And he's going to get to have a nice talk with Claudia.
And he's going to get to have a nice talk with Claudia because in a fun way, if we look at the whole story from Adam's point of view,
yeah,
he can feel probably the influence of like the other like thing probably just outside the edge of his perception.
The other thing?
Like the other world, the other forces at work and what have you.
Oh, it's like some subconscious sense that like, all right, there's whatever way that time mucks with things of like click click gun doesn't work, and then there's the like, I'm putting things into position and it's not going the way it should.
Right, and then eventually ends up learning about the other world at a certain point, and then kind of goes, aha.
Yeah, like, originally he would have just been thinking, this is all Claudia, and it's like, but wow, she's really good at this, you know? And then it's there's another world. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
All right.
And the idea...
My enemy was being backed by another government.
Right, and the idea basically that he was at multiple points made aware of this. Like, he was at multiple points along his journey to being Adam, like, made aware of this whole thing. Like, Martha shows up in the old
olden times.
The olden times with the device and what have you, and passes on the material, the matter, or what have you.
Right, and then
in order to set this up.
Vanishes.
And things like that.
Yeah.
But he never like gets actually access to everybody or any of the stuff from that. So he's stumbling around the dark. He gets the explicit, like, this is a thing here.
And by the time that Noah brings him the pages that has the information of the other world, well, it doesn't matter. He already clued that in when he went back, like when middle-aged Jonas went back. Hang on. No. Why did he need the pages?
Oh, he was just using Noah.
Oh yeah. He was just using
Noah.
Using that as the way to get Noah to do what he wanted.
Yep.
Right, because Noah was not actually there to help Adam achieve his goal. He was there to find Charlotte. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And so that's the thing that he dangled in front of him.
Yeah.
Also,
and all that basically manipulated by Adam to then set up his people in these positions so that these things could come about. Because he's been pushing all of his pieces like a chessboard, basically, to checkmate the queen, basically to isolate the queen on a chessboard, take her out, and thus break the opponent's ability to play the game.
So the other thing that I would just want to make sure is brought up when we're talking about this episode, because all the theory stuff and all the contextualization that this episode does for the show as a whole, amazing. But holy shit, the Noah and Elizabeth stuff that we got in this episode.
Yeah, the storyline.
That whole thing, that ripped my heart out. We
finally understand.
Oh my god,
the dutiful, faithful zealot. Like we understand where the zealotry came from. It did not come from loyalty or service to his god, to Adam. It did not come from even his belief in the fatalistic, like, this is the way things should be side of things. If anything, he's raging at the realization that all of his time gushing about paradise as he had been equipped by his older self and all the others, basically, like the many others, was to usher in more parts of this that it can perpetuate.
Right.
And all of it was just to find his daughter for a small point in time.
And she's, of course, it's like, you're not my dad.
and she was always right there in like plain as day view.
Yeah.
And it's almost kind of tragic because, like, in some ways, the idea that she didn't she had just a first name that was the same.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I'll give the show a pass, where there's a lot of things that it's basically giving us as far as new information and contextualization and things.
Right.
So, it makes no sense that he wouldn't be able to find Charlotte when her name is Charlotte and she's in all the diagrams of, like, all right, all these relevant people to the time travel stuff while he's doing his thing. Yeah, no. Like, he'd be like, oh, that's my daughter right there.
Right, and it's the kind of thing where because the show basically is playing with the time has fated certain things to go a certain way, he can't find out that's
right. But that's one, and so there is a potential explanation, but it's one of those, like, really stretches the suspension of disbelief.
Right.
In my mind, I'm just gonna kind of make it the headcanon that
well,
her
you
name
can't shoot that gun, basically. It's
another
example.
But that they didn't actually name her Charlotte.
But they did.
No, I know, but that's something that I think that's a part of the show that maybe doesn't hold up as much under scrutiny, you know? Because, like, the idea that over the course of, like...
Well, he literally says, where's Charlotte? Like...
No, right. And I guess because he had grown to the point where he's, you know, like he's a grown man, right? He didn't spend 33 years time hopping and stuff. Then it's a bit more plausible that he might not have realized it.
Well, he was also so focused on his mission in a lot of ways. He's isolated in the church. He's going and doing his shitty Helga stuff.
Yeah.
He's hopping around constantly through time. He's not really sitting in any time.
No,
for
right,
any,
but
like, good
but like
portion.
But like even if you know, especially since the work that you'd be doing as a time traveler is precise.
Oh, it's also quick too. It's not a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly.
There's an illusion that it's a lot of time, but it's actually not.
But it really isn't. He would have plenty of time to basically do this thing on the side, which is why I think this reasoning works really well, because it's the, hey, I work with Adam, he'll make sure that I have access to all the things that I need in order to travel around. I've made it up front to him that I'm looking for my daughter, so it's kind of a win-win there. He can still be a terrible person, and he's also okay with me getting what I want, right?
Right.
And then it's the betrayal at the end of, oh shit, he actually, all right, yeah, he really is just like, I need to stop him, you know?
Yeah, and that's maybe the fun part with the positive theme that comes against despair in this story, is that Claudia represents basically the hope amidst despair. She's the white devil. She's the scary, tiny piece of hope standing against the weight of darkness.
Sure.
Like she's the most jaded probably of all the characters that aren't the Adam and Eve thing, because she's seen everything.
Yeah. All the inherent problems that you would have with being a time travel warrior over a long period of time, your
life, you know.
Yeah, would still very much be there with her, right? She just might respond to it a little bit differently, but she'd still be affected by it. And that's why I'm so excited for the conversation that's going to happen, and the fact that, like, that's what they give us as the cliffhanger.
Right.
To then go into the finale.
Yes.
I'm just like, God damn.
Yeah.
And I've said this before, but, you know, when you have a show that gets really complicated, you can kind of see how well they're going to handle the ending leading up to the ending.
Oh,
because it'll take time if it's really complicated, right? No pun intended.
Right.
And these last 2 episodes in particular have just really blown me away with how they've just been sweeping the dust and, you know, away from the little corners, you know, of the writing and all that stuff, and just being like, all right, we're going to make this thing all polished and good to go.
Yeah, make it as clean and shiny
like,
as possible.
Looking at the final 3 episodes, slaps roof of car. You can fit so much explanation in here and make it engaging. Because it could be so easy for it to just be wooden and dry and just
boring because there's no like a heart in it. But all of this is the human heart in conflict with itself.
Yeah.
So even tying it back to the ways in which Jonas gives up so many times across the journey to have people come along and string him along to only then still become Adam is so perfectly tragic. The idea that all these characters could know their end in some small manner, like not all of them, but like so many of them, and yet continue forth anyway. That's kind of, I think, the positive point of what Adam's getting at with human progress.
Sure.
Is that we don't necessarily know our future as we go through things. That's obviously not the case here. But the theme of, we know that it might all be moot, that there might not have any, we know that there is no meaning to it. Like, we know that there is no, like...
Yeah, we can try and, we can put some meaning on top of it or whatever.
We can try to add something to it, but it's not something that we can do. That's not in our wheelhouse.
Well, and that's where you get the really fun villains, right? Because it's not that the villains are wrong, it's that they then do a bad thing with the correct information, right? Like, it's Adam, that is a very reasonable thing to say and a very true part of human nature. Yes, and it does help distinguish us from animals. Say what now? And now you're gonna strangle your own mother?
Right.
Don't you think maybe...
don't do that? How pitiful and how sad to believe basically that you need your pieces a certain way and you have no agency, to think that you couldn't just have your mother just stay here and you basically let her know, like, I can't have you do anything.
Yeah.
You could just stay here. I'm going to set you up in a little house. And I'll visit you.
Don't go try and take the time machine again.
Right.
You know?
And I know you're going to want to do this, but you need to understand, like...
This is...
Yeah, but he doesn't have any faith in that. He doesn't have any belief in that.
Yep.
And to be fair, this is Hannah we're talking about. Asking Jonas, who's been through all this shit, to be like, so... Don't kill your mother. You should trust in her because she's a very trustworthy person.
Right, and it's like, I
don't.
She's not. Like,
yeah.
You know, if it was like a Katerina type situation, then I could be like, okay, if you have any instincts
Katerina's
to go
ride or die.
to go like punch someone in the face or like whatever to pop off. Come to me first, you know?
Right.
But
I won't let you punch my face. It's really sensitive. But
I tell you why that person in
here.
particular, you shouldn't punch them in the face because of butterfly effect or whatever, you know? But totally. Come chill with me in the 1800s.
Oh my God.
But
yeah, it's so cool to see a character who is so entirely lost. Then also when we come to the end of things with a young Martha then being told like, oh no, they're not bad, they're not the ones that caused all this, they're the light. And then the repeating the lines line for line in the way that Jonas received them from Noah back in season 2 to have them here.
Also,
it just made me feel so.
Also,
such a way.
So another thing from that scene that I absolutely adored in a similar flavor to the sort of Hannah type thing is Bartosz gets to let Martha down one last time. like
oh God, you have a way with words, man.
Like,
bro, you're just kicking a puppy. He can't do anything.
No,
to
I know.
Defend himself.
And he was getting manipulated by his other self and all that stuff. So like, of course, that's what's gonna happen. And if they're working with somebody who's shitty, then man, that sucks, right?
It is actually, I'd say, a really appreciated thing that the show trusts us to understand what Martha's soldiers going through time basically were doing.
Yep.
Because they're contained to their own respective universes.
Right.
Like their own respective universe, basically. So the idea that then... Well, actually, no, that's not necessarily the case.
No, because it's cross-universe thing, and whether or not it's the same universe, but it's just alternating which decision happens, and all that.
Right.
It's still something where like this Bartosz has not like.
No, it is all this universe. No, that's right. Sorry. It was not cross-universe. It was right. Because this is God. It's so hard to keep track of things sometimes because the Bartosz here.
Is the Bartosz from this universe, but the Bartosz that goes and tells him to do this stuff is the Bartosz from Adam's universe.
No.
Oh no! Right? No. That was That's Martha's soldier. Right.
Basically, that there's a fun way in which the show basically took the amount of power that it had by ripping the time control, the time travel, so completely wide open.
Yeah.
That these kinds of tidy-ups here aren't characters going and resolving plot holes. It's characters going and basically doing the things that must be done.
Yeah.
And because this whole show has been about characters doing things that they believe must be done, because another person came and told them usually and said, you have to do
and all
this,
the horrible things they do because they justify it. The original one that we really saw being Ulrich going and, beating in Helga's face. Yeah.
Right. It's all stems from the same human desire and will. And there's a fun, dark thing that I like that the show has done, which has basically taken the human will desire to keep going at a thing, never mind any obstacles that come in front of you, never reevaluate, never adjust, never waver. And there's something about protagonists in stories that we celebrate them having that capacity, because that's why we're telling the story, that they never wavered.
Right.
And yet, actually, what this show is saying, no, the hero should reevaluate constantly.
Yes.
Should constantly look at their situation. Should constantly look at themselves and reflect and be
Yeah.
like, do I like who I'm becoming?
Maybe it's just the name of the show, you know, and how dark the show is. But it just makes me think of Dark Souls with like, don't go hollow, consume that humanity, do the thing, you know, right? Like reevaluate because. Yeah, because all these people might as well be zombies. They might as well be the people in the painting that are in hell or whatever, all trying to claw their way out, or whatever the painting that Adam has is.
So, this is what's so fun here.
Mm-hmm.
As we head into the finale,
Yep.
things have not broken.
Indeed.
Everything is still in tandem.
And
Adam did not succeed.
Mhm.
The reason for that is in the beginning of the episode. When Bartosz comes over there and changes that's the reason why two Jonases could exist, basically. Bartosz coming in there to specifically tell Martha, don't go in there, is so that we can have both two Jonases, one that goes to become Adam, and the one that ends up getting shot by the Marthas.
and the
but then
infinity
we can
thing,
also
yeah.
then have two Marthas, one that goes in.
No, because
Yes.
that Martha got killed.
No, I know. That one that went in to go save him.
No. No. Because that's after Martha just got killed by Adam in that timeline. So the Martha over here is the only one. Now, because of because you can be traveling through time in this universe, even if you kill someone, you can still see them in the show, right? Claudia still shows up to have the conversation.
No. I get that, but so I think you're getting events jumbled up, and I might be wrong here, but if Martha goes to then save Jonas,
goes to then from what time? From what point?
From the other universe, in the very end of season 2, she comes in with the device.
Yeah, right.
She has already killed, sorry, no. This is the one that has been told by her older self to go and do this.
Yeah.
She doesn't know. No, she does.
No, she hasn't gotten her face cut yet. Like this is so it's the different decision that causes the two universes to happen.
Right.
So this is the version of her that doesn't go to save Jonas and bring him over to their universe, and as a result of that, Jonas turns into Adam.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
The version where she. Hang on. Okay, so.
Yeah. So, Martha. Set up. Herself to go into the other universe,
right,
to create the branching point where the two Jonases could exist.
Yes.
But therefore, by doing so, also set up the branching point where two Marthas can exist.
Sure, because there's two universes. Yeah.
Well, not just two. No, not two universes. Not two universes.
The split different decision that effectively we're handling it as if it's two universes.
Well, yes, but it is effectively a different universe in that then one of those Marthas can go and die.
Right, which is the one that Noah killed.
The one that Adam just killed. The one that Adam just blipped out of everything here. Adam's thing worked.
Right.
But it did not end everything because there's another Martha.
I don't think...
Okay, was Adam's logic, as far as we know, given the bounds of this world, wrong? If he deleted the fetus,
fetus deletus. If he casts fetus deletus, does he world deletus?
Yeah, I believe it would.
I believe so too.
Unless there's another actual origin point or what have you. But the older Martha specifically said, he doesn't know that it's actually the baby. But he did know that it was the baby. But the thing is, he didn't know potentially that there's two babies, basically.
I don't think there is, though.
But that's the whole point of the Schrodinger's cat thing. That's that's why it's the point of there actually being two. So because we have two Jonases,
I'm going to come at it from a different.
That's the two Marthas.
I'm going to come at it from a different angle. So, what do we have left for the finale? We've been wrapping up a whole bunch of shit in the last 2 episodes. What we still have is the trio, right?
Yes.
That's the baby and the origin and all that stuff, right? we had 2 of them go off and do stuff, and we had the whole thing of the causing the initial events in both universes.
No, all 3 of them went off. The younger went with the older to help them out.
Yeah, right.
And the middle-aged one went by themselves.
Right. And so they went and they did that stuff. Yeah. Now, the big thing that was introduced this season, other than the Martha and all that stuff, and the expounding what the other universe means, right?
They're the kid.
Yeah.
That ends up being then with Agnes to then create the...
Yeah, exactly.
The everything.
The everything.
Yeah.
So, that character effectively still needs to be concluded.
And that's what Adam thought he was doing here.
Right, and I think...
But it didn't work because he looked around and was like, oh, the thing...
Well, and the reason why I think that... So, and maybe this is me going into an inaccurate understanding of the time travel again, is that it's not that as soon as the fetus deletus happens that the universe goes away, but that once fetus deletus happens, then there will be no future iterations because then the baby cannot then, go back in time.
Because everything is now. That assumes basically that you're then operating on linear time. If anything could actually change, it would collapse both universes to like its entirety. Like it would just end. There would be no reason for the story to continue forward with what they're doing here, because it's just over.
Well, no, but the idea of no, because there's the idea of fate.
We're about to have a 15-minute long conversation.
Okay,
here.
yeah, but the idea of things fundamentally being unable to change versus no. The reason that you're here and the reason that you made those decisions are things that will naturally still happen. So you will still come to the conclusion that this is what you have to do because that's how it all, works.
Yes.
But it's not like some fundamental, like...
No, it is. It's just that the story... man.
So...
I think you're just missing the whole Martha thing entirely here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to convince you of it, but I don't think I have... I don't think I have the capacity to just take your eyes and be like, look, this is what the show is literally showing you. Like, I get where you're coming from, and that it's like, but we have to let it run its course, so then when it tries to loop again, bro, there is no looping again. It's always looping. It's just, it is.
Well, and so as a theory of why it maybe doesn't end things, is what if in doing so it didn't actually kill the baby, but it sent that Martha to the point where then Vinden would end up being created as a result of her child.
Sure. That also works. Mm-hmm. But effectively, what I'm saying is that if he actually did kill the baby, it would work.
Yes,
but it didn't.
It didn't work. It didn't go the way that he thought. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're still here having this conversation. Right. Which is why the whole thing of Claudia showing up there is such a massive, badass mic drop for the show.
Yes, it's because I knew you were going to do this here. I know exactly
you
what
thought
you're
you
trying
defeated
to do.
me. Guess what?
You didn't even know you were fighting me anymore.
Right, exactly.
You lost track of me.
Yeah. I'm not 2 moves ahead of you. I'm not 5 moves ahead of you. I am 50 moves ahead of you.
Right. Because again, from his perspective, if he's going to end up being fought in some way, it's going to be through this gate. It's going to be through this point here.
Sure.
He came here to the future, to this spot here, because it's basically immune from all time travel stuff. The passageways collapsed in his head. The kinds of travel that would basically bring somebody here.
Sure. And I'm sure that there was probably a part of him before, even though we saw him actually push the lever up, but bear with me here. Mm-hmm. That before he goes to pull the lever, he's like,
that's goofy, but yeah. I get what you're saying here. Yeah. But the idea that this is about to happen. This show's about to end.
And it's going to stick the landing so hard.
Yeah. And so I'm just really excited to see where or to what or with whom do we go.
Yeah.
Because it's really exciting, but we could have a happy ending here.
I think we will.
And I think in some ways it's going to be happy, but it's not going to be happy for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
Well, obviously not, but it's more will it be happy enough for Martha and Jonas? Like, happy enough? Can they get something here? Because,
I don't know.
because Jonas shouldn't be here. That's kind of the point with his whole thing. He keeps chanting it in some ways because he knows he shouldn't be here.
Right.
He knows all of this stuff is wrong.
Yeah, the
and
version
he projects it out onto the world and everything.
Right. The version of him that we keep seeing, even though he's already died, is the version of him, the stuff that he was doing before he died.
Right. Yeah.
Same kind of thing with Claudia.
It's so wonderful in that regard. But Martha could be right. Like Martha.
Old Martha.
No, just Martha.
Okay.
Like, and that maybe it's not about going, just a whole nother universe, but it's about we need to trust that, Jonas, you'll find the universe where we're right.
Right. Yeah. No, because that's in a lot of ways, if not for the fact that an apocalypse happens, damn you, Alexander, why'd you have to grow a conscience there? Then we could just be like, hey, everybody, time traveler meeting, let's all just agree to stop doing this and just
I hate when you give the this is what makes logical sense, and I'm just actually trying to predict the show.
No, but they can't do that because of the apocalypse, right? You can't just there is an actual thing that does need to be stopped.
Yeah. But oh my God. Okay, y'all, the finale next week. Thank you so much for watching these reactions and crazy discussions. If you want to see the finale reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other shows in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.